I'm your host. You already know. This is Z Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist, where every week at this time, we bring you the latest astrology news and information, or as I like to say, real astrology, real numerology in real time. We got a lot to talk about, but if you want to talk astrology and numerology with me tonight, and the theme of tonight's show, since it's the day before Valentine's Day, we're talking love and relationships. So if you want to talk about your lover, or if you want to talk about your boyfriend or girlfriend, or if you're looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife, give me a call and maybe I can help you out, point you in the right direction for that possible loved one to come into your life. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Now, we have a lot to talk about on tonight's show. We're coming to the close of Aquarius. We're in the last days of Aquarius. We're winding down the astrology calendar. So I want to start off by wishing everybody on tonight's show to all the Pisces people. I want to say happy birthday to all the Pisces people. The sun enters the sign of Pisces this Saturday, February 18th, at about 6:30 in the morning, and it's going to be there until March 20th. So we're counting down the end of the zodiac calendar. Hold it right there, control room. Now, as I've been doing the last couple of astrology numerology shows, I've been including the Native American symbol for the sign of Pisces. And the Native American symbol for Pisces is the wolf. Somewhat like the Chinese New Year's, the Native American symbol uses animals. So for the sign of Pisces, last month it was Aquarius, so Aquarius is ruled by the otter. But for Pisces, Pisces is ruled by the wolf, and sort of kind of makes sense that Pisces is ruled by the wolf in Native American astrology. The wolf, he's a hunter, he's a predator, he will get you, and it's the same thing with Pisces. I always say that Pisces is two fish. One fish is the nice fish, like Flipper, if you're old enough to remember Flipper, or if you're young enough to remember Nemo. You remember the Finding Nemo, how nice and happy he was? And then that other fish, because Pisces is two fish tied at the tail. That other fish is Jaws. So when Jaws smells blood in the water, if you know any Pisces people in your family, my dad was a Pisces, one of the nicest men that you could ever meet. But if you got on that other fish's bad side, it was like get out of the water, because they will get you. Overall, Pisces people are very nice people. They're very spiritual. They're very psychic. I want to say hello to all my Pisces friends who are watching this show. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Call the show right now. Let's show them the control room. Control room one more time. The number to call to talk live. It's February 13th, the day before Valentine's. And don't forget, tonight's show is dealing with Valentine's, love and relationship. Now, from a numerology point of view, since the name of the show is Astrology Numerology Now, February 2017 is a number 3 universal month. It's a number 3. Now, in numerology, every number has a numerical vibration to it, from 1 to 9. Now, the 3 is about creativity. It's about expressing yourself. How do we get that number 3? 2017 is a number 1 universal year. So we're taking the 1 universal year and adding the month of February. So 1 plus 2, February is the second month of the year, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And it's a great year. It's a great month for all the entertainers, all the performing artists to go out there, do their thing, get their creativity on. It favors people born on the 3rd of the month, on the 12th of the month, on the 21st of the month, and also on the 30th of the month. So February 2017 is a number 3 personal year. Now, we have an event coming up on February 26th. And still, if you want to talk astrology, you want to talk numerology, and don't forget the theme of tonight's show. We're going to talk money. You want to talk money and all that stuff, we can talk about it at another time. But the theme of tonight's show is love and relationships, because it's the day before Valentine's Day here in New York City. And this is our last show until the end of the month. So this show is going to be repeated over and over again until about March 1st. Love and relationships, if that's what you want to talk about, give me a call right now. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Now, as I was saying, we have an event on February 26th of this month, and that is we're going to have a solar eclipse. A couple of days ago, we just had a lunar eclipse. Now we are going to have a solar eclipse. Do we have those graphics, control room? A solar eclipse is, stop it right there, is when the Earth comes between the sun and the moon. So if you look at the sun, on the lower part of the sun, you see the shadow of the moon coming in front of the sun, or the shadow of the moon coming between the Earth and the sun. And the only way that we can get solar eclipse is when the sun and the moon are both in the sign, or both in the same sign at the same time. So on February 26th, it's a new moon. The sun is in the sign of Pisces, and the moon is in the sign of Pisces. It's interesting that this is a big day for all Pisces people, and it's going to be a challenging day for most Gemini people, most Pisces people, and Sagittarius people, and definitely Virgos, because Pisces is the opposite sign of Virgo. We have a little animation that I like to show everybody of what the solar eclipse sort of kind of looks like, or what we're seeing during the solar eclipse. Do we have that animation ready, control room? We don't have that animation ready? Well, anyway, come back to me. We're going to go look at camera 3. Come back to me on camera 3 while we get that animation ready. It's an animation of what a solar eclipse looks like. If we can pull that up, you can pull it up anytime. But what do we do on a solar eclipse? Solar eclipses are also major life-changing events. And on that night, February 27th, it's the Academy Awards. It's the Oscars on that night. Sunday, February 26th, this solar eclipse. Do we have that animation, control room? If we do, put it up right now so I can walk people through it, because I want them to see what a solar eclipse looks like. So there we have it, the solar eclipse. And what we see is just bear with me, we can't stop it, but that round circle, that's the moon crossing between the sun and the earth. And we won't be able to see it in the United States, or we won't have totality in the United States, because it's only visible in South America and Southeast Africa. So, but anyway, the solar eclipse is happening. And this is going to be a game-changing day. I do believe that there's going to be a lot of drama at the Academy Awards on that day, because the sun and the moon are coming together. But also, it's a very good day for all the Pisces people, and especially those Pisces people who were born, let's say, between February 20th and, let's say, February 28th. Because this is where this eclipse is changing. Try not to, as I always say during every eclipse, no arguments, no fights, no disagreements. We got enough of that stuff going on, but it's always good to be mindful of what the planets are doing during a solar eclipse. It's in the sign of Pisces. If you want to know how the solar eclipse is going to affect you on that day, give me a call right now. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Now, up next, and we're waiting for some phone calls. Don't be shy, say hi. If you're watching in New York City, if you're watching, and this show is broadcasted or televised live throughout the borough of Manhattan, and I know some of my friends in Brooklyn get the show. If you're in Harlem, if you're on the Upper East Side, if you're on the Upper West Side, if you're downtown, if you're in Chinatown, if you're in Inwood, call the show right now. Let's talk astrology. Let's talk numerology as it relates to you. 212-757-1393. This is Z Starman. We are now in our 8th season doing astrology and numerology on live television. And I want you to call in the show because I'm not going to be here at least until the beginning of March. So write down this information, tape the show. If you want to talk to me, give me a call right now. Now, up next is we have Venus in the sign of Aries. Venus is in the sign of Aries. Venus is in Aries from February 3rd till April 3rd, 2016. Venus is in the sign of Aries, and it's going to be in Aries for a couple of months now. It's going to be in Aries until April 3rd. Venus is in sort of kind of a rough territory. Venus is in a rough territory when it's in the sign of Aries. It's like having a bull in the china shop, but it's also good for all the other fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. This helps out that kind of energy. But signs like Capricorn and signs like Cancer should be aware of that square energy. It's going to be some difficult days ahead with the Venus retrograde that's upon us, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes on the show. But I want everybody out there to give me a call right now. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. It's Monday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. People are always asking me, Z Starman, what kind of relationship should I be involved with? I'm a Gemini. My husband's a Cancer. How is this going to affect me? I think we have a phone call. Okay, let's take a phone call. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Caller, you're on the air with Z Starman.
Hi, Z Star. This is Maggie. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Maggie. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm fine. What day is your birthday, Maggie?
My birthday is April 26, 1990.
April 26, 1990. Now, you know, the theme of tonight's show is relationships.
Yes.
Now, are you in a relationship?
No, I wish.
You wish? Okay, so let your wishes come true. We're going to talk to Maggie in camera number 4. Now, some of the things, some of the relationship possibilities that are probably very good for you, and a lot of people traditionally, it's other earth signs. Like Taurus gets along well with other earth signs like Virgo and Capricorn. But you know what? I think it would be best for you to have a Gemini.
Really?
A Gemini or an Aries. Because like I like to say, those are your next door neighbor signs. Gemini is after you because you're a Taurus, and Aries is before you.
Great.
So I would suggest one of those two signs, either a Gemini or an Aries, because I like to call them the next door neighbors. Because you know, sometimes in real life, we have next door neighbors that we get along with tremendously.
Right.
And then sometimes you have that next door neighbor that you can't stand, that you just hate and you just wish that would go away. So I would like to say that next door neighbors are great for you. Now, since you're born on the 26th, now, if you can also find someone who is born, let's say, if their birthday adds up to the number 3. So if that person's birthday is either the 3rd, the 12th, because 1 and 2 is 3, the 21st, 3 plus 1 is 3, or the 30th, they would be very compatible for you also. Signs that I suggest that you sort of kind of, avoid is Leo, that's one sign, and Scorpio. Personally, I like to say any sign can get along with another sign, but for you, and I'm doing intuitive readings on astrology, numerology now.
Right.
For you, your best signs are Gemini or Aries, because they're on the other side of you. Now, Taurus women, they don't like, they don't need much. They're not picky or anything like that. But all they want to do is feel comfortable. And Maggie, I want you to remember, starting next month, that your ruling planet, Venus, is about to be retrograde. So try to find that. You say you wish for a lover, put it out into the universe. And a lot of things that I find that people, when they're seeking love and finances, is that, especially love, is that they work too hard for it. Let it happen. Let it come to you.
Totally.
After this Venus retrograde goes away, let's say in April, after April 15th, then things should start to get on a roll for you. But my personal choices for you is either a Gemini or either an Aries, because you're close to each other. And sometimes you may have planets in Gemini, or you may have planets in Aries that will bring you together.
Oh, really?
Really?
I have someone in my mind. I don't know if I can ask.
Well, when you find out, I'm going to put up my number at the end of the show, and you can call me after the show, and I'll tell you, or I suggest to you, whether this person is compatible with you.
That would be great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Maggie. If you're a Taurus or if you're a Libra who's watching the show right now, Venus is about to be retrograde. I have to tell everybody this. We got about 3 minutes left in the show, but Venus is about to be retrograde. Do we have that lower third control room? The planet Venus. Now, what we're looking at is a picture of the planet Venus from the Magellan spacecraft that was near Venus in the early 90s. And just like the Earth is colorful, and the Earth has a colorful look to it, this is the light of the sun bouncing off the planet Venus. And Venus is going to be retrograde from March 4th to April 15th. And whenever Venus is retrograde, just like a Mercury retrograde, it's a cosmic timeout. And it affects Taurus people and Libra people. If you got Taurus rising, Libra rising, one of the rules of thumb during a Venus retrograde, and this is from March 4th to April 15th, right before Income Tax Day, is you don't start any new relationships. You don't start any love relationships. You know, it's time to go back and analyze. And sometimes during the Venus retrograde, sudden love affairs can happen. And Venus is going to be retrograde again from March 4th to April 15th. It's going to retrograde into Aries. On April 3rd, it's going to go back into the sign of Pisces. So a lot of Pisces who are watching the show, a lot of old lovers may be back on the horizon. We're going to talk more about that in my YouTube video. Watch out for that. Let's take this last caller. Caller, we got about 30 seconds. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Sandra. This is your neighbor.
Hey, Sandra.
My birthday is March 13th, 1958. How are you?
March 13th, 1958. Sandra,
Yes.
I want you to invite me to your birthday party.
Every day is my birthday. I know we have just a little time here. I just wanted to know, what does 2017 look like for me in reference to business, career, finances? And what's a good sign for me?
Well, a good sign for you is any other water sign like Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio. I like two Pisces people together. Now, Venus is going to be in the sign of Pisces from April 3rd to about April 15th. So that's when your opportunity for love and romance is coming. Sandra, I got to go. We got 30 seconds in the show. I want to say good luck to my good buddy Audrey, who's having some surgery this week. Audrey, you're going to come through that. If you want to talk astrology, if you want to talk numerology, give me a call after the show. I want to say hello to my new friends, Elizabeth, who's sitting in the audience right now, who's my birthday buddy. This is the number. Call Z Starman. Peace. Namaste.